Hello ladies and gentlemen, Silver Green here and welcome back to another video. So in this one I'm going to talk about some bosses that I think some of you might have some difficulties with as new players. This is not like a full guide for those specific bosses because the situation after normal will be very different because you'll get to use only one team every 24 hours and it will be a better AI to fight against, so it will be quite different. So I'm going to do full boss guides as we get to heroic, but for normal I just wanted to drop in here some tips for some stuff that I consider difficult, that being boss Grodd in this tier, boss EPI, I mean not necessarily difficult, but something you might have trouble with. So boss Grodd, boss EPI, and boss Sub-Zero, that's pretty much what we're going to cover. Something that might have brought some trouble was boss One Roman because she got a shield, but pretty much the same logic applies to Grodd that will apply to One Roman, so no point in including that. Yeah, let's get into it. I'll show you, let's say, I'll show you 3 fights and I'm going to play them on normal speed and talk about them, and then they'll be in the background 2x speed as I give you additional advice and additional themes you can use. If you enjoyed this, let me know. I know this is kind of late. I planned to release this yesterday, but yesterday I was kind of busy with having my account stolen. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so opening up with DPI here, I do not have any cryo artifacts by the way, but I'm going to use the Dark Metal cards at level 3, but you don't have to use this. It's something that will provide me with slightly more damage, but the gameplay will absolutely be the same. So the main trouble with EPI, it's not really that much of a trouble, but it's the thing that she's using the old AI so you can't combo interrupt her, and that will be quite annoying. She can jump attack while she's in the corner, so you need to be a little bit careful with that. She will at a lot of times use the special too. I think out of the bosses we'll discuss about, she is by far the easiest, but she will a lot of times spam while in the corner the special too, so you need to not be scared when that happens. Like, a thing you can do against her special too is going to be to just keep hitting, but make sure to stop after 3 hits because you lose the ability to swipe. Try to combo and drop into 3 hit sequences. The other thing about her is that she stuns you on tagging, and as I always say, if an enemy does something bad when you do something, don't do that something. Like for example, if she stuns you on tagging, don't tag in. But you can tag in a little bit to power generate because she doesn't have like a maxed out stun chance. She's got like a 25 or 30% chance to stun you, so it's not gonna be that bad. But if this thing specifically kills you, just don't. And as you can see how I did here, I backed off into a block and re-engage the combo. Keep in mind, EP after using a jump attack you should be scared because she might do something, but after swiping towards you, you should swipe towards her immediately because that's pretty much a guarantee engage, because after a swipe she'll never use a special, but you need to be fast because she can transition into a block. Yeah, the Kinflan Sakuman will do fine here, the Batman Jet team will do fine here because Batman Jet team Catwoman is not going to tag in and out anyway, and if you got something more than that, better than that, at that point you don't really need advice for this. Just don't use stuff like the Multiverse team or Silver Banshee teams that rely a lot on tag-ins, or some other ways you can avoid the stun if you really want to tag in and out is to put a Harbor Harley Quinn as a support character, or to put a Silver Aquaman with Kinflance Aquaman to grant him some stun resistance, because he grants stun resistance for each Might teammate, so you're going to in that scenario have at the very least 2 of them, and you're going to be fine. Just like team works here, just don't tag in and out. Now with Grodd, this is not something about how to beat boss Grodd, more like how to beat bosses with super shields. Also, the thing with this dude is that he's immune to a bunch of stuff, so it might be a little bit tricky in higher difficulties, but over here he's got a laughable amount of health, so just shut up and throw Kinflan Sakuman in there, it will be fine. You just need to not hit special trees into the shield, that's all you got to do. Don't do special trees into the shield, you might wonder why. Well, there's a few ways. The AI will use shields in some certain circumstances, but first of all they need to be able to use the shields, so that's what you're going to try and do, make them unable to use the shields. There's a few ways to do this. You use a special right after they use their own special, like for example here I did not have enough energy to do that, but after you use a special one I can just swipe into a special tree, because as you do a special you're going to have a cooldown before you can do another special, and the enemy is going to play by the same rules in terms of having their own cooldowns after they use their own specials. So if you use a special one and you're fast enough, you can swipe right into a special tree and you're guaranteed to not get hit. He can also not use his shield if he doesn't have the power to use shield. You can use Atlantic Armor Aquaman to spam the special 2 and keep it power drained. Also, another thing you can do is you can rely on stuns. He can't use shield if he's stunned, so you can put Claw Force on Camouflage Aquaman, or put Emerald Green Lantern in the same team in order to give you a chance to stun on basic attacks upon tag. And like, look, with this fight, with this amount of health that he's got, I don't feel like it's going to be really that much of a question, at least in normal mode, of difficulty, but of patience. Because I would be long dead if I was not patient with this fight, and I was, and that pretty much was the key to victory. So just keep in mind, as long as this dude can't use the shield on you, he can't hurt you pretty much. So make sure that every single time you do a special, you don't throw it to luck, because it will work sometimes. And that's at the end of the day, if you can't do anything of what I said, you can just randomly yet out special trees with King, die a bunch of times, and you'll eventually kill this dude. Because that's to an extent a valid strategy, even though the worst one. If you're patient enough, you're not going to get blocked by any shields. Another way is to use Outbreak Harlequin League of Anarchy and use the... what was it called? The Kryptonite Spear, if you have it. Though, to be fair, if you complete normal Rise of Krypton, you most likely are packing more than enough damage to kill this dude. So yet again, not very sure this guy is targeted to you. But yeah, that's it for Grodd. Again, the key is patience. If you don't hit his shield, you're going to be fine. And there's plenty of ways to avoid that if you're careful. Now with boss Sub-Zero, this guy is not as menacing as he seems like. Like, this dude's main thing is going to be that he's going to freeze you. So the freezing is going to apply to you as you do basic attacks on him. By the way, he blocked like a bitch over there, the special one from Raven. That was not nice of him. But yeah, I'm going to use Raven League of Anarchy here, and you can pretty much use a lot of things, pretty much any team works against him. You just need to be... You just need to not really care about the freeze, honestly, because I will get into the freeze mechanic. I'll let him freeze me at some point on purpose, because it's really not that bad or that big of a deal. Might act different in higher heroics, because he's gonna have different AI. That's gonna be definitely interesting to see. But basically, by hitting him with basic attack hits, you're going to build a freezing meter. When that freezing meter is going to reach maximum, your character is going to get frozen. And you're going to see this in a second on my EPI. When the character is going to get frozen, he's literally not going to hit you. He's going to just sit there, relax, and wait for the freeze to expire. And you might think, oh, that's bad because I'm losing some time of the fight. And that's what I thought, first of all, because somebody in the chat spoiled me because I was streaming this and I was like, oh, he's just gonna wait there. And I was like, oh, damn, it's gonna make me miss a lot of the time of the fight. But not really. That freeze is gonna be over in like 3 or 4 seconds. So it is really, really not a big deal to not get frozen. But if you really want to avoid it, I guess you can use teams like Silver Banshee, team where by the time you tag Reverse Flash back in there to build some combo, your Silver Banshee is going to get tagged back in. And your freezing is going to expire while you use specials, because specials don't stack freezing and the freezing stacks decrease as you don't hit him. So if that mechanic makes you struggle in any way, shape or form, just don't hit him for a bit and it will cool down. But yet again, I really wouldn't be worried about it. But yeah, all that being said, this was it for this video. I'll definitely do more guides to update you on bosses as I find them difficult or not difficult. Didn't play my pips after this refresh specifically, but as far as I saw, there were no challenging sub-bosses in tier 4. We're going to see about the boss, and we're going to see about the sub-bosses in tier 5, and I'm going to update you guys with advice and tips on that. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.
This is the future.